The man divorced his wife 101 times in 3 years of marriage. After finishing the divorce procedures today, he thought his wife would take the initiative to reconcile like she always did. So right after walking out the door, he exchanged a glance with his buddy. Had his buddy deliberately stick out his foot to trip his approaching wife. She fell on the spot and blood instantly gushed from her calf. But the man pretended not to see, turned and took his buddy to find his cousin. When driving past her, he even sped up deliberately to splash dirty water all over her. However, the man didn't know this time his wife would never seek reconciliation again. It turned out 3 years ago, the woman accidentally discovered her father was having an affair with her aunt. She angrily confronted her father for betraying her mother but was framed by her scheming cousin who claimed her mother was also cheating. When the woman angrily pushed her cousin, she was slapped by her father so hard it made her deaf. At that moment, a fire broke out in the next room. Remembering her unconscious husband was still in the room, she risked her life to rescue him from the fire, but a piece of debris suddenly fell from the roof. To protect her husband, the woman was knocked unconscious. The cousin took advantage and led away the just awakened husband, making him believe she was the one who saved him. The husband therefore always misunderstood that his wife didn't save him in the fire. From then on, he found all sorts of absurd reasons to propose divorce again and again, either complaining the food she made didn't suit his taste, or blaming her for buying clothes that didn't fit his preference. Every time it was the wife who initiated reconciliation, making the husband believe she could never leave him. So today, when he proposed divorce for the 101st time, he still thought his wife would come begging to reconcile soon. When leaving, he deliberately floored the gas and splashed dirty water all over her. But this time the wife completely gave up on him. She directly dialed a stranger's number. As long as he was willing to invest in her mother's unfinished project, she would marry him after the divorce. After hanging up, the scheming cousin flaunted a jade bracelet in front of the woman. This jade bracelet was the only memento left by her mother. The woman didn't bother going to the hospital to treat her wound and went straight to the bar to find her scheming cousin. But instead, she saw her scheming cousin embracing her husband. Furious, the woman immediately pushed open the door and barged in. The husband thought the woman came to reconcile with him right after divorce, but this time the woman didn't pay him any attention. Instead, she demanded her scheming cousin hand over her bracelet. The husband spoke up for the cousin, claiming he gave her the bracelet. He also said the woman's mother had been dead for so many years. It's just a broken bracelet, he could buy the woman 100 of them anytime. Then the scheming cousin picked up a glass of wine and walked up to the woman. She said as long as the woman drank the entire glass, she would return the bracelet. Her best friend warned the woman about her alcohol allergy and told her not to drink, but the cousin forced her to drink. The husband stepped forward and forcibly poured the wine into her mouth, then pushed her away, making her fall hard on the ground. When the woman thought the cousin would return the bracelet, she deliberately smashed it on the ground instead. The woman angrily confronted her but was blocked by her husband. He not only blamed the woman for not catching the bracelet the cousin handed over, but also raised his hand and slapped her, smashing her expensive hearing aid on the spot. Then he left with his arm around the cousin without even looking at her. After leaving the hospital, the woman had to spend all her savings to get new hearing aids. To make some money for living, she could only work at a photo studio, but her first clients turned out to be her husband and cousin. She originally wanted to refuse to photograph her cousin, but thinking about how she needed money, she chose to endure. Unexpectedly, the cousin lied to provoke her, claiming the woman's unprofessional skills hurt her eyes. The husband immediately demanded a different photographer. The cousin then deliberately tripped over the power cord, causing the heavy photography light to fall toward the woman. The husband instinctively wanted to rush over to save her, but hesitated the next second. He felt if he showed too much concern, the woman would notice. In the end, he chose to shield the cousin and let the equipment crash onto his wife. In the hospital, looking at his unconscious wife, he truly felt terrible, afraid his wife would never wake up. Actually, he had always loved his wife deeply. The reason he pretended to be cold was just to see his wife come begging. He thought when his wife woke up this time, she would definitely beg him to reconcile as usual. But when his wife regained consciousness, she angrily threw the water cup on the ground and told them both to leave. The cousin's face clearly wasn't hurt by the broken glass, but she lied, claiming the woman ruined her celebrity face. The husband immediately lashed out at the woman and warned her if she continued to be so unreasonable, he would never reconcile with her. Then he left with the cousin. A few days later, the woman received another call from her husband. The cousin's birthday was in 10 days and he demanded the woman must attend to ask her father for her mother's unfinished project at the banquet. The woman agreed. At this point, there were still 15 days left in the divorce cooling off period. She had already made up her mind. Once the time passed, she would let go completely. Time quickly came to the cousin's birthday. When the husband saw the woman walk into the banquet in a gorgeous gown, he thought she was dressed too flashily. The father was even more furious as he threw her mother's project to the woman, if not to avoid others saying he mistreated his own daughter. Today, he not only wouldn't have given the project to the woman, he never intended to let the woman attend this banquet at all. At this moment, the husband tried to provoke her again. He publicly gave the cousin $100 million luxurious birthday gift, instantly drawing envious looks from everyone present. Then the husband said as long as the woman was willing to kneel and beg him, he would give her more than the cousin. The woman couldn't be bothered to respond to him. She grabbed her mother's project and was about to leave, but the cousin snatched it away. The cousin publicly mocked these projects as worthless and stepped on them to insult the woman's mother. The woman just lightly pushed her and the cousin immediately immediately faked a fall. The husband didn't ask why and directly slapped the woman. At that moment the woman completely gave up on her husband. She grabbed back the project and left the banquet. Finally the day to reconcile arrived. Seeing her dressed so beautifully, the husband thought she couldn't wait to reconcile. But just as the woman handed her documents to the staff, the husband happened to receive a call from the cousin pretending to be sick. So he told the woman he agreed to reconcile and then left to find his cousin. What he didn't know was the woman went straight ahead and got a divorce certificate. Back home, the woman placed the divorce certificate on the table, picked up her luggage and left this place where she had lived for 10 years. Meanwhile the clueless husband was still with the cousin. Even when his car passed the woman's at the intersection he noticed nothing. He still didn't know this time his wife had completely left his world.